Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Blanca and this is my library. It's been a while since I did my last wrap up that I think was May 24 or March. I can't remember well, and I think that's the only wrap up I do, but because I don't usually do them, I basically do them when I forgot what I was reading or when I remember I need to do wrap up. So here is my February and January wrap up. It was supposed to be only February's one, but I don't know why I just added January, because I was checking my Goodreads to see what books to add, and I don't know what happened to me the last few years, this last year and this one, that I haven't been reading much, so it wasn't going to be a long video. It was going to be too short if I only did February, so that's why I combined both January, because I only read four in January and 7 in February, so I don't know, it has been a rough time. Just basically, long story short, I think from last year was the only year I haven't completed my reading challenge. I always set up 100 books and I think I read 90, and mostly 50 of them wasn't of my liking for somehow, and I don't know, I've been in a reading slump, and ever since I changed school I think I haven't touched a book, or well, I did, but only I think 5 or 4. So this month I read pretty much. I don't know why, I just can't explain it, but we'll stop talking nonsense, let's get into the video. Starting off, my first read of the year was awful. I read the first one of Zodiac Academy, The Awakening I think it was, and I read it 1 star, but because I couldn't, it wasn't good even, I can't remember anything of that book, and I didn't hate it, but the thing is I can't remember anything of it, and I didn't have a good time reading that, and I remember myself forcing myself to sit there and start reading the book, and it was horrible. I don't know, I just can't even remember can't even remember anything of the book. I just know I didn't enjoy anything reading that. Following up, I got along with my comfort author, which is Marisa Mayer, and I think I read mostly all of her books except Karma at Instant. That's her romance novel, but I'm more into her fantasy books, so I only had left the Gilded and Cursed duology, so I got to read them on January, and I actually enjoyed it a lot. I think I read Gilded in 2 days and then Cursed in 1, right after, and I think I talked about this on my last video from the other channel, but I enjoyed a lot those both, and since Gilded left in a cliffhanger, I got to read A Curse immediately, so it was almost I almost read Curse on a 1 sit. I think maybe it was 2, I don't remember, but it was very quick, less than 24 hours, and I enjoyed it really much. I don't like having the accidental pregnancy cliches, so this book has the cliche, but it actually makes sense for it to have it. In Gilded, it's both of them are Rumpelstiltskin's tales. It's called Rumpelstiltskin's tale, I don't know how it's called, but it's a retelling, mostly of Marisa Mayer's books. Well, I mean, except for Renegades, Lunar Chronics and Heartless are both retellings, and although my favorite book of Marisa Mayer series is Renegades, I think I'll enjoy a lot how she writes retellings. No, it just has her thing and everything. After all, everything makes sense and everything's connected to the story in some way and somehow. So I really enjoyed reading this duology. Funnily enough, I read The Door of the Forest. I'm going to search how it's called. Oh, The Hazelwood #1. I think it's a trilogy or a series, I don't know. The things I read this because it's from, at least for I think so, it's originally written in Spanish. So for my extended essay, I don't remember why. I think it was for fantasy or maybe for a dystopian. I think it was dystopian thing. I think I didn't enjoy it that much. I rated 2.5 out of 5 stars. And the thing with this book is, I don't know what is the thing with this, but I didn't get immersed in the story, at least somehow. I just remember I have my internal assessment tomorrow. Well, never mind, just keep going. And the thing with this book is that I didn't get immersed on that, and it was like reading, it's just not reading like I used to read. It was weird, but I didn't dislike the story as much as the moment I was reading. I don't know if that's well explained. The thing about this book is it reminds me a lot to Magisterium by Cassandra Clare and Holly Black, and those were a series that I enjoyed a lot, and I think it's in my June. I think it's in my July wrap up. I enjoyed a lot the Magisterium series, but this book gave me the same vibe, but it wasn't the same. I don't know, that didn't make any sense, but I get to understand myself. And that's it for January. I think I haven't read that much on January. This book, I don't even remember. I think his book was something about portals and that stuff, but it was irrelevant. It was like not bad but not good. But starting with February, I was talking to my friend. She's from a skating club, and she sent a picture with six of crows, and I told her like I need to read that, but I've started a lot of times. I DNF it every single time I started. I think I grabbed up book 3 several times, but I always grab it when I was in midterms or in finals or in any kind of situation when I wasn't able to read. So she told me like you should give it another chance, and I was like okay, but I need to read Shadowborn first. And I grabbed the first time I grabbed Shadowborn, I think it was last year, January last year or something like that. Also another friend from my skating club told me like that's her favorite trilogy of all times, and I needed to read it. I grabbed them from the library and I never got to actually read. I think I got it till chapter 16, and it was that I DNF it because I wasn't getting into the story. I wasn't enjoying reading it, although the story might be good or bad. And the thing with this trilogy is that I think it's one of my type of books. It's like you see them and it has a map, and it has I don't know what this is called, but it's about magic and stuff, and it's usually something I enjoy reading. So I didn't know why I didn't have that much time, so I was like I need to go in to give this another chance, and I'm glad I did it because I don't know how I get to DNF this book twice. Well, no, that was Six of Crows. Well, I don't know why I get to DNF this book, but I read Shadow Bone and I enjoy it, and it basically tells the story of Nina and Nina's from Alina and Mal, and a lot of several chapters. I keep confusing chapters and chapters. And these two characters throughout the story fighting against Darking. The thing is, I read Shadow Bone in Spanish, then I keep up with Season Storm in Spanish also, but I read Green and Rising in English, and I think the fact that I changed the language half of the syllable half for the last book, it made it like confusing to follow up because Darking in Spanish it's called like darkness. No, it's like dark lord or something like that. And I think I needed like 4 or 5 chapters to till I realized it was the same person they were talking about. Something that impressed me a lot was Nikolai's appearance on second book, I think so. And since I know Nicholas from Book Talk, and I thought Nikolai was from Six of Crows, but later I read Six of Crows and I wasn't any Nicholas there, but Nikolai there. I think that everyone loves Nikolai, and he has his charm, but I think it's overhyped. I don't know. It has its charm. Maybe I haven't read Crooked Kingdom yet, but I think it's not as good. I mean, it's a good chapter and it has take ribbons, but I don't know why everyone has him on a pedestal. So that's for my Shadow Monk trilogy, and I really have 4-star overall. The trilogy, I think I enjoy more the second book. I think so. Second Storm, I think is my favorite out of the 3. And following up, I wanted to take a break before reading Six of Crows, so I started the Wicked trilogy by Jennifer L. Armentrout. And this is also, apart from like the Hazelwood, I wanted to write an extended essay. I haven't get to explain this. I think I got away from the topic, but I wanted to write my extended essay about something dystopian. But I ended up choosing The Secret History as a book for my extended essay. I have this one on my hand, just I don't know why. So I got to read the Wicked trilogy by Jennifer L. Armentrout. The thing is, I read this whole trilogy in Spanish, and in Spanish the first book is not called Wicked, it's called like Fairy Hunter or something like that. And since how's that name called? I just forgot the name of the protagonist, but she's a redhead. So since it was called like Fairy Hunters in Spanish, it reminded me a lot of Shadow Hunters. So I decided to own this book and start reading it, and it actually it has nothing to do with Shadow Hunters, but as same as Magisterium, the Hazelwood, it gave me the same vibe, something like that. So I did enjoy reading Wicked, but there was a lot of things that I wasn't fine with that. I rated this whole trilogy overall, I think 3 stars out of 5. I think the first one was still my favorite, but also I can't remember. I think Tink, yes, it was called Tink, carried the whole trilogy, because if it wasn't for Ren, how's this girl called? I don't know, the redhead. I don't think I will enjoy it as much as I did with Tink. Tink definitely carried the whole book, but I think it wasn't bad at all. So I enjoyed reading it, but it wasn't like as amazing as it might seem from all. So I read Wicked, and I read this, and then Thorn, and after Thorn is Brave. It's not Brave. And I think I was going to comment something on Brave, but I can't remember. So, well, after this doesn't really count, but I started Frostlight Night from Sarah Rush. I think Sarah. I'll have here Rush. The things I read are snow like fire like ashes like snow. Well, her first 2 books, and the first one wasn't that bad, I think, but the second one I just couldn't get immersed in the story as well. So when I started First Night, this is the 3rd book of the trilogy, or I think there are 4 books, I don't know. I just wasn't able to keep going, so I DNF it on a quarter in of the book, so it doesn't really count up as my read, but I read it. So when I grabbed that and left it, I grabbed Six of Crows, and I finally got to read Six of Crows. And the thing is, I don't know why I think I enjoy more. Well, no, I think I enjoy more reading Six of Crows, and I don't get how I could DNF this book twice or 3 times. I don't know how many already, but I actually love Six of Crows. It's this high fantasy where you have these main characters. It's, I don't know, it's like the 6 I think there are, and everyone has their own kind of thing going on, and relationships, and reading them was also an interesting experience. Don't say less. Nonetheless, I get what I can. I didn't like got stuck in the book, so I read it out 4 out of 5 stars, which is a pretty high mark. But I actually expected more from a duology as Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. Maybe Crooked Kingdom will surprise me. The thing that's actually was surprised that was like Nikolai wasn't appearing here, but appeared like Zoya returned to Six of Crows, so she was my least favorite chapter from Shadow Moon trilogy. But seeing her in Six of Crows, although it was not for a lot of pages, but it's comparing, like having something familiar, although the magic system and all was the same. Then I wanted to read Crooked Kingdom, but someone has already grabbed it from my library, and I didn't want to go to another place. So I remember I needed to keep up with A Dead in Diamonds. That it's this book here that Fandom Book sent me, and this is the Spanish edition of the book. I'll be leaving on the screen the English cover, but this is the Spanish one. And the thing about this book is I finally get to finally ended, and I read like half of it, and I think I left it there. So I actually just read the other half. The thing with these books, I didn't get immersed. I think the whole problem with all of these books is that I don't know if I'm on a reading slump or something, but I was just seeing words. So I read these 3 out of 5 stars. It wasn't bad. It's kind of a cozy mystery. Things always interview and flashback and interview flashback. I think was turning on, and it is good for a time, but where the whole point of the book it's interview flashback. It's a fifth. It's like if I get super immersed in the story, it gets super annoying reading flashback and interview after flashback, and I think it was kind of predictable. Something that happened there. I don't know. I enjoyed that, but it wasn't that much. I think this reminded me a lot of Underworld Run or 10. I don't know what's the old name in English, but Underworld Known. I think I read it when I was in 9th grade. It's 9th grade, I think. For a month, it was a mandatory read in 9th grade. And I enjoyed that book, for instance, from Agatha Christie. So, well, this book reminded me a lot. There's also a group of friends. Well, no, these are a group of friends. They're strangers, locked up in an island, a kind of house, where one of them is murdered, and they have to find out who did it. And it was like interview. The dynamic between interview, flashback. I said a lot of times I don't enjoy reading flashbacks. So, and that happened also in Chain of Thorns by Cassandra Clare. I didn't enjoy reading but changing point of views, flashbacks, this kind of things wasn't of my liking, for example. But well, I didn't dislike the book as much as it might seem. I did. I rated 3 stars, so it's not bad. This is the end. This is the book when I ended my Ferrari reads. I'm reading right now Every Place We Keep as a Secret. that I don't know if it's in English. I'm pretty sure it's not. It's from Irma Rubiales, a Spanish national author. So I'm enjoying that book, but I'm reading it because I have a friend who's in Finland. She's having a great time. Shoutouts like that. But I don't know. I felt in the mood, and my school was going on a change to Finland. I think so. So I didn't go, but I'm pretty sure we had to went there on. We should have went on December, and the Finlandese, well, people from Finland should come, I think in March or something like that. I was like, maybe reading this will get me in the mood of receiving it. I don't know. I don't know. Or maybe because I read Till We Get No Stars Left, or No Scoldings, and The Earth in Us by the same author. The Earth in Us wasn't, like, I think in my opinion was overhyped in BookTok Spain, but Till We Get No Stars is one of my favorite books, so I want to give a shot to Every Place We Keep as a Secret. Or maybe I don't know. I don't know why I read it, but I'm reading it. So it's just that I just don't get immersed in the story. I think it's a problem I have. Like, not me. It's like, it's not the book, it's me. But well, I hope when I see you next time I get out of this, not because I'm not in a reading slump, but this weird dynamic I'm with books. So this is the end of the video for today. I hope you enjoy, and see you next time. Bye. And the things that I think I'm keep going, I wanna open a new tab called in my cast diaries or something like that. And also please not blogging my cast projects, or maybe, and I've not that connected lately since I don't have a phone yet. So I thought of like changing from this channel to another, and maybe it's not a weekly video, and maybe I have to do monthly one, or even 2 months, because I'm still with a podcast. By the way, talking about the podcast, we interviewed Gwendolyn Van Ryan, author of Flip. Yes, Flip from the movie, and I think we had a great time. You should check it out. It's on Spotify, and it's called Nights of Fantasy. So it's basically the last interview we did. We are almost on a spiritual retirement because we have no idea what to do next or who to interview next. So if you're an author or want to get interviewed, just don't hesitate to reach out to me or to my friend Inez that I've been leaving her Instagram someplace in the screen. Well, but just bye. I just talk a lot. Bye.